The vibrant city of Lagos, with its skyscrapers and bustling streets, felt like a living organism, constantly buzzing with energy. Street vendors shouted, horns blared, and the air was thick with the scent of roasted corn and suya. Amidst this chaos, nestled in a quiet corner of Victoria Island, was the quaint little art gallery known as Whispers. It was a place where the city's artistic souls gathered, showcasing their most intimate and imaginative creations. Inside the gallery, its white walls were lined with paintings, sculptures, and contemporary art pieces. But none drew as much attention as the painting of the sad girl. It hung in a secluded corner, almost hidden from the direct view of casual visitors. The artist, who had vanished soon after completing the piece, was known only by his initials, AO. His disappearance had added a mystique to the painting, making it a subject of whispered gossip and speculation. The painting depicted a young girl sitting by a window, her face turned away as if trying to hide her tears. Her eyes, though sorrowful, had a depth that seemed to penetrate the soul of whoever gazed upon them. The night outside the window was alive with the soft glow of the moon, casting a silver light on her delicate features. A single tear clung to her cheek, frozen in time. To anyone passing by, the painting was just another piece of art. But to Adola, the gallery's caretaker, it was something more. She had always felt a strange connection to the sad girl. Every evening, before closing up, she would stand in front of the painting, lost in the girl's sorrowful eyes. Tonight was no different. "It's almost as if you want to tell me something," Adola whispered, brushing a strand of hair behind her ear as she locked the gallery doors. The clock on the wall struck 11, its chimes echoing through the empty space. Adola sighed, picking up her bag. "Good night," she said softly to the painting before switching off the lights and stepping into the Lagos night. The city's nightlife was in full swing, but Adéola's thoughts were still on the painting. She had dreamed of the sad girl many times, always waking up with an unshakable feeling of dread. There was something about those eyes, something haunting and familiar. She couldn't place it, but she knew that those dreams were more than mere figments of her imagination. As midnight approached, a cold breeze swept through the gallery, rustling the curtains that covered the windows. In the darkness, the painting began to glow, a soft, ethereal light emanating from the sad girl's eyes. The tear on her cheek glistened, and then, with a faint sound like a sigh, the girl in the painting moved. Her eyes blinked, the tear falling from her cheek and splashing onto the canvas frame. She turned her head slowly, as if waking from a long slumber, and stepped out of the painting. Her bare feet touched the gallery's tiled floor, and she stood still for a moment, disoriented. The moonlight streaming through the windows wrapped around her, making her look like a ghostly apparition. Her name was Ifema, and she had been trapped in the painting for over a century. A cruel curse had bound her to the canvas, a curse placed by a jealous lover who could not bear to see her with another man. Her love had been pure, her heart given to a young artist named Akin, who had captured her essence on that fateful canvas. But Akin's jealousy and possessiveness had turned dark, and he had used his knowledge of ancient incantations to bind Ifema to the painting, condemning her to a life of sorrow and loneliness. Ifema took a shaky breath, her eyes darting around the dark gallery. She had waited for this moment, the one night of the year when the curse's power weakened enough to let her step out of the painting. She had 1 hour before the first light of dawn forced her back into the canvas. 1 hour to find a way to break the curse forever. As Ifema wandered through the gallery, her fingers brushed against the other paintings, feeling the emotions trapped within each stroke of the brush. She walked past the sculptures, her eyes lingering on their lifeless forms. Her heart ached with the longing to be free, to feel the warmth of the sun on her skin, to experience the love that had been stolen from her. It was then that Adola, unable to sleep and driven by an inexplicable urge, returned to the gallery. She had left her keys behind and, upon finding them, had felt a pull to return. As she opened the door, the sight of Ifema made her gasp. Who are you?" Adola stammered, her eyes wide with shock. Ifema turned to face Adola, her eyes reflecting the moonlight. "My name is Ifema. I am the girl from the painting." Adola felt a chill run down her spine. "How is this possible?" "There is no time to explain," Ifema said urgently. "I am cursed, bound to the painting by a spell. I have only until dawn to break free. Please, you must help me." Adiola's mind raced. This had to be a dream, a figment of her imagination. But the desperation in Efima's eyes was real, and something deep inside Adola told her to trust this strange girl. "What can I do?" she asked. Centuries ago, Efima was a radiant young woman, full of life and beauty that captured the attention of everyone around her. In her younger years, her personality matched her beauty. She was lively, full of laughter, and known for her kindness. Her smile was infectious, lighting up every room she entered. Her demeanor was soft yet confident, and she had a nurturing spirit that drew others to her. Efima was not only admired for her looks but also for her intelligence and wisdom, which far exceeded her years. She had a deep connection to nature, often spending her days wandering through fields and forests, gathering herbs and flowers, which she would use to make perfumes or adorn her hair. Efima carried herself with grace and humility, always thoughtful of others' feelings. Even though she was admired by many, she was never vain, her heart always open to the world around her. Efima exuded the timeless beauty and charm of a woman deeply rooted in her culture, filled with love, and surrounded by admiration. She was like a blooming flower, vibrant and captivating, her every move graceful and enchanting. Her beauty wasn't just physical, but it was also found in her kind and gentle spirit, which left a lasting impression on all who encountered her. In this time, she was a muse not just for Akin, but for everyone who admired her. She embodied joy, freedom, and love, qualities that made her the perfect subject for Akin's paintings, and ultimately, the victim of his tragic curse. "There is a way," Efima said, her voice trembling. "A true act of love and sacrifice. The curse was cast out of jealousy and hate. Only an act of pure love can break it." Adiola's thoughts flew to the man she had loved and lost, the pain of his betrayal still fresh in her heart. Love had brought her nothing but sorrow. But as she looked into Efima's eyes, she saw a reflection of her own pain. They were two souls, both trapped by love's cruel hand. In that moment, she knew what she had to do. "I will help you," Adola said firmly. "Tell me what I need to do. Please, like and subscribe for free." Efima's eyes filled with tears. "You must give me your heart," she whispered. "Not in death, but in life. You must give up your chance to find love, to be with someone. Only then will the curse break, and I will be free." Adola felt her heart constrict. Was she willing to make such a sacrifice? To live a life without the hope of love? But as she looked at Efima, she knew she couldn't turn away. Adola is a deeply compassionate and empathetic individual. Her quiet demeanor often makes her appear reserved, but those who know her understand that she has a heart full of kindness and an artistic soul. She has a natural affinity for the arts, especially painting and sculpture, which led her to work at the Whispers Gallery. Adola is introspective, spending a lot of time in thought, often reflecting on life's complexities. Her past heartbreak has made her wary of love, instilling in her a fear of vulnerability. Despite this, she is incredibly brave and selfless, willing to help others even at a great personal cost. Adiola's actions are driven by a sense of purpose and a desire to find meaning beyond her own pain background. Born and raised in Lagos, Adola grew up in a close-knit family that valued culture, education, and the arts. Her father, a university professor, and her mother, a schoolteacher, nurtured her love for literature and painting from a young age. Adola had a significant love affair during her university years, which ended in betrayal, leaving her heartbroken and mistrustful of relationships. Seeking solace, she found herself drawn to the Whispers Gallery, where she took a job as a caretaker. The gallery became her sanctuary, a place where she could immerse herself in art and escape the turmoil of her past. Over time, she developed a deep connection with the painting of the sad girl, sensing a kindred spirit in the canvas's sorrow. Had felt love's joy once, even if it had ended in pain. Efima had never been given that chance. "I will do it," Adola said softly. "I give you my heart, so you may find freedom." As the words left her lips, a warm light filled the gallery, engulfing both women. Adola felt a weight lift from her chest, and for a brief moment, she felt a peace she had never known. Efima's eyes widened as she felt the curse shatter, the chains that had bound her to the painting falling away. She was free. "Thank you," Efima whispered, her voice filled with gratitude. "Thank you for giving me a chance to live." Adola smiled through her tears. Live well, Ephema. And love with all your heart. As dawn's first light crept into the gallery, Ephema vanished, her form dissolving into the morning air. The painting on the wall faded, leaving only an empty canvas behind. Adola stood alone in the gallery, a quiet sadness settling over her. She had given up her chance for love, but in doing so, she had found a purpose. As the city of Lagos awoke, the sounds of the morning bustling outside, Adola knew that she would never be truly alone. For in that moment of sacrifice, she had found a connection that transcended the bounds of the physical world. True love is selfless and freeing, while possessiveness and jealousy lead to destruction. Love should never be forced or controlled. Only through sacrifice and genuine care can true freedom and redemption be found.